Hey guys, you know what? I thought today that we would take a trip to Akihabara. Yeah. So let's see, here's a map. Where should we go? The side shows some of these fun places. We could go to Maid Cafe, some digital shops. Let's see, what else? Hey, there's Book Off. Book Off is always a good place to go. Lots of cool stuff there. We could get us some gampura. Let's see here. What nice shop? What's a nice shop that we can hang out at? Hey, we could get like a foot massage from Lovely Maid. Or we could get our names printed on some omrice. Yeah, or just be like smothered with cute maids. Joy. Helicopter models. Nah. What shall we do? What shall we do, guys? What shall we do? Gamers. Let's check out Gamers. Yeah, that would be better. Too many choices. Too many choices. Hey, RoboSpot. That's always interesting. We could play robot soccer. You know what, guys? As much fun as Akihabara is, I think for this video... Yeah, screw this. We're just going to play another game. Yeah, forget this. So, this time, the game that I wanted to show everybody is Tales of Rebirth. Once again, this is another, and no, that is not Woodrow on the front. That is Vague Lindbloom, and he looks a lot like Woodrow, but it's not Woodrow. Once again, Tales of Rebirth. This is another great Namco Tales game in the Tales series that regrettably was not brought to the States, and was not really translated. Of course, as always, there are ROMs and there are hacks that people have done in English for this game, but I mean, it's not the best. Fan subs are usually pretty decent, but we're not going to do that. We're going to play the original because that's just the way I roll. So, just wanted to show you the manual real quick. Here's the characters. Vague is the main characters, and he really does look a lot like Woodrow from Tales of Destiny. But, yeah, he's not. If you saw my Tales of Destiny walkthrough, there's quite a few jokes with him looking like Woodrow, and even a title. And Claire, the person you'll never forget because Vague just has to constantly shout out her name over and over again. Claire, Claire. So yeah, you won't forget her name. Mao and Eugene, who is a Gajuma, and so kind of a beast-like character. You've got Annie, who's quite interesting, but unfortunately underused. Titre, who's very cool. You will be surprised by who his voice actor is. Agarte, the beautiful princess of the Gajuma, and Hilda, the sort of fortune teller who uses cards for her attacks. And yeah, once again, this is a really good Tales of Destiny game. I highly recommend it, and I rank it, pretty high up. Sadly, this one didn't get translated. I mean, I've heard rumors and the excuses that the story in this game is pretty racist in that it's about the humans, kind of versus the Gajuma, and they live together mostly in harmony, but there is a bit of prejudice in the game, and that's kind of one of the underlying themes. And so that's one of the main reasons I've heard that they decided not to translate this and bring it to the West. And that's a real disappointment, because come on, racism is a serious topic, and not to be taken lightly, but just because the game's theme is racism, that's no excuse for, oh, let's just ignore this one and not bother. It's a topic that should probably be addressed, and of course it's addressed in the game, and it's not like they're promoting it or anything in the game. But this game has a very unique battle system too, which I'll be showing you as we go through this game. The 3-line linear motion battle system, and even though it's still kind of 2D, it's still got these 3 lanes that that you have to use for fighting. You got to switch lanes sometimes, and some of the spells cover multi-lanes, and it is pretty interesting. But rather than talk about it, I'll probably just be showing it to you. And as always in this playthrough, there you can see the 3 lanes. I'll be cutting a lot of the battles because they can be monotonous, but for each dungeon I'll leave in several. This does have high ogis, or he ogis, ultimate moves, and a lot of the classic ogis like Majinken, and some of the usual ones from other Tales games will make an appearance. Some bonus stuff for the battles, and it's got a pretty interesting system. They kind of stepped out of their comfort zone and tried to create something new for this game, and they did a really good job. If you look online, this game has really high praise and sold really well, but just for whatever reason, they just decided, oh, we'll just pass this one up. Like, way back in the day, they passed up Final Fantasy II and, the Final Fantasy V, and then finally, after years, those got translated, and then, of course, the numbers were all messed up. But, so, for this playthrough, we are going to do Tales of Rebirth. Another incredibly great game that regrettably was never brought to Western audiences, sadly. And just an all-around cool game, and I'll talk more about it as we play. So let's check it out. go, guys. On to our new great adventure. Now, this first episode is going to have, quite a bit of story and dialogue. So, not a whole lot of action, but, yeah, stick with me. This will probably be a long episode, and, the story is important to get it started. So, I will cut out some, but we'll see how it goes. And the intro to this game is, quite confusing, but it'll be explained. So let's do this. Let's get it on.
Yeah, ベイグ。僕はマオ。
ユージーン・ガラルドだ。ベイグ・リュンムベル。お前を迎えに来た。
So yeah, there was a lot to unpack there, guys, in that opening scene, but it will be explained.
何者だ。なぜ俺の名前を知っている。
So Vague's saying, who are you, and why do you know my name? This is 1 year after the events of that opening scene, as you saw, and he's been protecting Claire ever since, who's, frozen in the ice there.
心配しなくていいよ。僕たちは仲間さ。こっちへ来て話を聞いてくれないかな。
Don't worry, Vague. We're friends. Would you listen to what we have to say?
話すことなど何もない。帰れ。
I have nothing to talk to you about. Go home. Get out.
そうかな。僕たちなら君の力になれると思うんだけど。
So they're hoping to get, Vague to help them with some of his power, because Vague has some pretty
お
impressive
前に
power.
何ができる？何も知らないくせに。
It's like, what do you think you can do to help me? You don't know anything about this situation.
僕は君以上に君のことを知ってる。君の疑問の答えを知っている。
It's like, I know more about you than you know about yourself. And I know the answer to the questions that you're asking yourself.
何が答えだ？
It's like, don't mess with me. What answers that I'm looking for? Of course,
話をしようよ、ベイグ。君が来ないなら僕がそっちへ行くからさ。
well, let's talk, Vague. If you don't come over here to talk with us, I'll come over there.
フォルスの制御はできるようだな。
Looks like you can use the Force. I'm gonna get to say that a lot in this game.
想像以上だね。
More than expected, huh?
俺に構うな。次は加減しない。
It's like, leave me alone. The next will be fatal. The next attack.
ああ言ってるんですけど。
Yes, so he says.
手荒な真似はしたくなかったが、仕方あるまい。
Didn't want to have to do a fight, but I guess it can't be helped.
みたいだね。で、
Yep.
条件は？
So, what are the conditions this time?
フォルスなし、目標を傷つけずに60秒だ。
So, you can't use the Force, and you can't injure him, and you've got 60 seconds to win. That's pretty strict. They have this joke game going.
厳しいな。
Wow, that's strict, Eugene. Yeah, I would say that's strict.
できないのか？
No Force. So, you can't do it, huh?
できないと思う？
Do you think I can't do it?
質問に質問で返すのは感心せんな。
It's like, don't answer a question with a question. I hate that. Sort of Eugene's thing. He hates people answering questions with a question.
何を話している？さっさと帰る。
What are you guys talking about? Go home.
やめるなら今のうちだよ、ベイグ。
Now's the time to quit if you want to. Vague.
避けるな。
Don't mess with me.
はっ、いくよ。
Alright, our first battle. And the timer at the top is the 60-second limit he had to defeat us. It doesn't matter the outcome of this fight, if you win or lose. You can win it easily, and you can lose it pretty easily, but it won't matter. So just a practice run of the battle system. Ouch. Knocking me in the face with a stick.
油断しちゃったよ。もうやだ。
You can see Claire and the ice in the background. It's a kind of a cool fight scene.
俺の氷とお前の炎、同じなのか？この力は一体。
It's like, my ice and your fire. He's like, is this the same? What kind of power is this?
お前のその力はフォルスという。使い方を誤らなければ、この先お前にとって大きな助けとなる。
So the power that you have now, we call it the Force, or just Force.
フォルス
So yeah, maybe that's why this game didn't come to the States, because it's the Force is copyright,
あフォルス
but it's called Force. Kudos
これ
to
がそのフォルスの具現化した
Star
もの
Wars.
フォルスキューブさ
So that's the Force Cube that they use for their,
僕たちは旅をしている
you
僕
know,
や君
abilities.
のような能力フォルスを持った仲間を探すために
So they're
僕
looking
たちの世界を救うために
they're looking for people with powerful Force abilities like Vague to save the world. Here we go again, guys, saving the world. Isn't that what we always seem to be doing?
全てはフォルスによって起こったことなんだよ
So everything that's happened up till now has been this Force power.
フォルスは生命と精神のパワーが生み出す特殊能力のことだ。
You know, it's a special ability that resides in nature.
フォルスはもともと俺のようなガジュマにしか発現しないものだった。
And the Force was something that only the Gajima could use. These, you know, partial beast-like guys. That's another race, as well as the
だ
humans.
ったらなぜ俺やそいつのようなヒューマにそんな力が
So Vague is asking, why is a human like me able to use this power then? You know, if you know humans typically aren't supposed to be using this power.
ある時からヒューマの中にもフォルス能力者が現れるようになったんだよ
So recently, humans have been able to use the Force. It's awakened in almost all of
ガジ
them.
マやヒューマという種族の区別なくいろいろな種類のフォルスを持った能力者がいるんだ
So, you know, they can't compare Gajima and humans anymore because pretty much everybody can use the
君の
Force.
フォルスは氷
And your Force ability is ice. Obviously.
氷のフォルス
The Force of Ice. Or Ice
君は
Force.
氷を自在に操ることができるでしょ
So you can control ice, right? You know, you can feel it and sense
今
it.
はなだがクレアの氷だけはどうすることもできない
So you can't do anything about the ice that's covering Claire right now, even though he can sense and, you know,
それは
manipulate ice.
君のフォルスが暴走した時の氷だからだ
You know,
よ
he can't remove it. And Mao is saying that's because that's when your force, your ice force, you know, went wild.
心の力であるフォルスは持つ者の心が不安定だと過度に反応し制御できなくなる。
So, you know, it's because of the first time and it sort of went
君の
haywire.
力の覚醒は
And,
突然のことだった
You know, it was sudden.
準備ができていなかっ
So-
た君の心は力を制御できずに
You know, he wasn't ready for it. And so the power just went berserk. And, you know, it happened to be aimed toward her. And that's why she's in that
そ
pillar
れ
of
が
ice.
フォルスの暴走なんだ
So that was just the force going haywire in him, the start of it.
この氷は今のお前の能力では消すことは不可能だ。
So you will not be able to remove this ice because it's so powerful. It's because it's when your
どう
force
する
went,
クレアは
you know, your force went berserk. So Vague is asking, what can I do to help Claire?
ここは僕に任せてベイグ君が氷なら僕は炎氷を溶かすには
So Mao says, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it, Vague, because I have fire. You know, you have ice, so fire and ice are opposites.
炎を近づければいい
So he's going to use his fire to weaken the ice
フ
so
ォル
that
スの炎よ
the Vague can break
氷の
it.
眠りから彼女を解き放て
So he's saying, force of fire, release this girl from her endless sleep. So weakening the
今だよ
ice.
ベイグ氷を砕いて
So now, Vague, destroy the ice. Don't really have to translate that. "Uah," do I?
クレア
Clear. I shouldn't have to translate that either. Hey, Zappy. Such a cool animal.
生きているのか
Claire, are you alive? Are you okay?
ベイグ
She has such a cute voice.
クレアどこも痛くないか気分は
Claire, you don't have any pain anywhere? How are you feeling?
私
震えているのか。
Claire, why are you shaking so much? Because it's full of ice in here, man.
違うのベイグ。
No, that's not it.
ここは少し寒いわ。
It's just cold in
太陽
here.
に当たりたいな。
I want to get warmed up with the sun. Yeah, I would too if I'd been in there for a year. So apparently we're gonna go talk outside.
クレア、すまなかった。
Claire, I'm so sorry.
何があったの？一体何が？
What happened? What's going on?
覚えていないのか。
You don't remember anything?
ベイグの体から出てきた青い光に包まれて、それから私。
So she remembers from out of Vague's body was this bright blue light.
君はずっと氷
And
の
that's it.
中に閉じ込められていたんだよ。
And Mao explains you've been, trapped in the ice this whole time.
あなたたちは？
Who are you? Suddenly they just appeared.
こいつがお前を助けるのを手伝ってくれた。
They are the ones that helped me to rescue you.
はじめまして。僕はマオ。こっちは。
Nice to meet you. My name is Mao, and this is
ユージーン・ガラルドだ。
Eugene.
ベイグのフォルスが暴走し、君はそれに巻き込まれた。
So you got trapped and locked into when Vague's force went wild. You were caught
そ
up
し
in
て
it,
1年経った今、ベイグはようやく君を救い出した。
and 1 year later, Vague has saved you from that predicament.
クレア、本当にすまなかった。
Claire, I'm awfully sorry that this has happened. Come on, 1 year, that's not too
君
bad.
を氷の中に閉じ込めたのはベイグの意志じゃないよ。
It's like, it wasn't Vague's choice that you were trapped in the ice for a whole year.
何度も君を助けようとしたはずさ。そうでしょ、ベイグ。
Isn't that right, Vague? You tried many times to save her and to get her out, right? It's not necessarily, his fault that she was stuck in there.
ベイグ、そんなに手を傷だらけにして。
Vague, what are all these injuries on your hands and arms? He was trying to claw her out of there. Trying to get her out however he could.
私を助け出すために？
Was that to help me? To help me get out?
だが、俺にはどうすることもできなかった。
I wasn't able to do
で
anything.
きたのは、クレアを見守ることだけだった。
So the only thing I was able to do was sit and just protect you. To watch and protect you.
クレア、俺はこれからお前にどうしてやれば。
It's like, what should I do to atone for what I've done here?
ベイグ、私家に帰らなきゃ。
Oh, Vague, I should probably go back to my house.
お父さんやお母さんも心配しているだろうし、安心させてあげたいの。
My mother and father are probably worried about me. I want to let them know that I'm okay.
ベイグ、助けてくれてありがとう。
Thanks for saving me, Vague.
私はこの通り元気だから。
As you can see, I'm just fine. No problems.
よかったらお二人も私の家で休んでいってください。
And how about you two? If it's not a problem, please
大
come
した
and,
おもてなしはできませんけど、
take a rest at my
お食
house.
事の用意をして待っています。
It's like, there's not much we can do, but we can create a meal or, make a meal for you at my house.
いい子だな。
What a good girl. She is a respectable, nice girl.
さてと、ごちそうになりに行こっかな。
Hey, let's go have some of that delicious food.
フォルス使ったからお腹ペコペコだよ。
After using the force so much, I'm super hungry.
魔王、
わかってるってば。
Mal is quite the interesting character.
ベイグ、君に話があるんだよ。僕たちはそのために君に会いに来たんだからさ。
It's like, Vague, we have some things we need to talk to you about, and that's why we came to pick
こ
you
こで
up.
聞く。
It's like, okay, I'll listen.
できれば落ち着いたところで話がしたい。
So let's talk in a place where we can relax and be a little bit more calm. So we're gonna go ahead and go to Claire's house.
あれは
But first, fight practice.
氷のバイラスフローズドクローだよ。
It's an ice virus, Frost Crow.
こっちへ来るぞ。
So the enemies in this game are called Virus. At least the monster ones. So one of the cool things you can do in the battle system in this game is switch lanes, and you can be behind the enemy while one of your other characters is in front, and you can surround like there.
勝負を認めろ。
It's a really good strategy to surround your enemy on both sides. And you can keep them stunned that way, which is a really good technique. So here we are, Surs, little town in the Alps, where our adventure begins. And yeah, I'm sorry guys, mostly this episode is going to be a lot of story, but I did kind of want to show the story and set it up, so everybody knows what's going on, and this way you can enjoy the story and the characters, and lets you know what's going on. But I will of course be showing exactly where to go and what to do, because this is kind of a walkthrough to help those that would like to play this game. There is an English patch, that just changes all the menus to English mostly, but as you can see, I'm playing the original on the PlayStation 2 because I'm not a ROM person, and I mean I could do it high quality that way, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it here on the PlayStation 2 and explain everything. I will put the names here in English, just like I did in my Tales of Destiny playthrough, so that you can kind of see who's talking to who and who gets talked to. See, I'm not sure how to spell Vague's name here in English. It's going to be pretty vague. Pretty sure that's the spelling from the book. I'll use the spelling from the booklet, so that should be the official spelling, no matter what anybody says. So hopefully that's okay. Vague. And yeah, I guess I accidentally canceled there. So let me do this one more time. One other thing during this playthrough, there is something called the Town Link. That's what it's called in the in the instruction manual, the Town Link. And what that is it's the only part of this game I honestly don't like. Whenever we reach a new town or village, there's going to be a bunch of stuff to do. And basically it's really just for story purposes and to kind of flesh out the characters. But basically there's just a lot of running around and talking and story stuff to do, like small tasks in each town to help the people. Maybe there's something locally going on at the town, but it's not really all that interesting, and it's kind of annoying because it's just a bunch of running around through the town, and it kind of forces you to explore the towns and get used to other characters. But I'll be cutting quite a bit of the Town Link stuff because it's just so long and there's just a lot of dialogue. But I will leave in the important dialogue for story development and character development. But a lot of the Town Link stuff in particular, I'll probably just cut it out. But I will be showing what steps you need to take to progress the story. And in each town, the town link, it needs to be done in order to progress the story. And so that's what's kind of annoying. You get to a new town, rather than just, buy new equipment and you're off on your quest, you got to do a bunch of these little annoying tasks in the towns before your quest continues. So this was a long scene too, and I cut most of it, but they're just talking about the Force and how Vague can use it. But I'm leaving this part in because it's important to the story. So she was really worried about Claire, and she makes this peach pie. She's a gajuma, as you can see, and this peach pie is actually an important part of the story. Believe it or not, a peach pie. So the mother's, grateful that Claire's back and doing good. And so is Zappy, he's so happy. So she made a peach pie for Vague to celebrate, Claire coming back and being okay. You'll notice, yes, she's a gajuma, but they're all friends, and Eugene's a gajuma. Wow, smells delicious. Oh, hey, you have some extra guests? Well, why don't we all eat together? Oh, Vague-chan likes peach pie, huh? It's kind of making fun of. She calls Vague Vague-chan. So she's really close to the family. So she's a Papura, Grandma Papura. Oh, Obasan. Thank you so much. Not the real grandma, but he's using the word out of, endearment. And of course, Mao's got to eat it. This is super delicious. Something's going on. This is Claire's father. What's wrong? Some guys with weapons have come into the village. Where are they at? So they're out in kind of the meeting area, I guess, of town. Eugene, could it be? Let's hurry. Kind of the town meeting area, I guess. I don't know how you call it. Town center. So this is the exit to the town. So basically up kind of, the north section of town here. So here's near that church that was frozen. So I don't understand. Does this human look beautiful? I have no clue if she's beautiful or if she's ugly. How about you guys? Do you know? Is she cute? Is she ugly? What? And so for him, he's like, they all look the same to me. Sorry, Mr. Toma. Hey, you human girl. What's your name? I'm Monica. Are you beautiful? Quite the interesting question. Well, I don't understand. I'm not sure. It's like, what's wrong with you? All I'm asking is, are you beautiful or are you not beautiful? It's just a question. She's freaking out. Yeah, I'd be freaking out with such a question too. Who are they? You notice they're all Gajuma, which, don't really understand if a human is beautiful or not.
何か調べてるんだ。
So it looks like they rounded up most of the girls in the village, and they're asking, they're checking something out with all the girls. Eugene, I knew it.
王の盾だ。
It's the King's Guard.
あいつがいるということは、奴も。
So if they're here, it must
王
be
の盾。
殺す能
orders.
力者を中心に構成された国王直属の部隊。それが王の盾だ。
So they're special,
彼らは
group
その
that
能
guard
力
the
を使っ
king.
て国王の警護に当たると同時に、公にできない特殊な任務を行って
So he's explaining they go on special missions and whatnot. They're basically
文字通り
the
王の盾となるって
the
わけ。
shield of the king is what they're
それと
called,
同
the
時に
group.
能力者を管理するという狙いもある。
And they have some really powerful,
悪さするやつ
skill
も少なくない
users as
から
well.
ね。敵になる前に味方に入れちゃおうってこと。
And of course, we're probably gonna have to fight them all.
ああ、面倒だ。お前がこの村で一番美しいと思う娘を連れてこい。
So this is getting annoying and troublesome. It's like,
私が
you just tell me who's the most beautiful girl in this
こ
village.
のトーマ、あまり気の長い方ではない。痛い目に遭いたくなければ、さっさと連れてこい。
It's like, if you don't want to get hurt, please just bring me the most beautiful woman.
この中にいないのなら、向こうの連中から選んでも構わん。
It's like, if there isn't one, I'll just let my guards choose somebody. And Monica looked at Claire, because it's the first time she's seen her in a year.
何か
おお、あの娘か。
Oh, so this girl is the most beautiful, huh?
違うんです。
No, no.
あの子は
That's right, not her. That girl is...
うるさい。
Shut up. A friend of Monica's.
モニカ。
Okay, now it's getting violent.
おい、
はっ。トーマ様の命令だ。来い。
Tolma's orders. Come with us.
待て。クレアに触るな。
Stop. How dare you try to touch
なんだお
Claire?
前。どけ。
Who are you? Get out of the way. That's right, you better squeal, boy.
ホルス。
You have the force.
今すぐ全員を解放して村から出ていけ。
So get your group together and leave this village now.
強いフォルス反応だよ。
There's a powerful force reaction.
磁力使いのトーマ。あれはジのフォルスだ。
Toma's special ability, warping around and
氷か。噂には聞いていたが、見るのは初めてだな。
wow, the power of ice. I've heard the rumors, but this is the first time of seeing it. You have the force
お
too.
前に逆らうとこうなるのか。これは恐ろしい。
This is surprising.
だが俺のフォルスはもっと恐ろしいぞ。試してみるか。
My force is even more scary. Would you like to test
僕
it?
たちも戦うよ。
Vague, we'll help you.
仲間もいたのか。面白い。
Oh, you have friends with you.
お前よ。
You? It's you?
トーマ、手を引け。
Toma stepped down, back away.
三人がかりか。
Our first boss fight.
強いかも。
様子見は終わり。
Boy, you just uppercutted now. Man.
氷のフォルスはこの程度。フォルスってのは。
Ouch. Another one of those battles you can't really win. It just ends.
それでこの三文芝居はいつまで続くのかな。
So, are you gonna keep playing with these three sisters?
され。
Sade. Another
何をもたもたし
villain
て
who
んの
has
ト
to
ーマ。
keep fixing his
ク
hair
レア
for some
君だっ
reason.
け。あの子がこの村一番の上玉だよ。
It's like that Claire, she's probably the most beautiful in this
され。
town.
もたもたとは何だ。
I was wondering why Sade's there.
まったく下手に暴れてお人形さんに傷でもつけたら大目玉だよ。
So yeah, you're not very good at
や
this.
がましい。いちいち指図されなくても分かっている。
You know, need a human to tell what
だったらいい
what
けど、
beautiful
さ
human
っさと
looks.
彼女を連れて行こうよ。
Whatever, let's just take the girl and leave.
待て。
Wait.
まったくちょろちょろと目障りなやつだ。
Boy, you're such an annoying guy, aren't you?
ローマ相手にするな。話はもうついてる。
It's like we're just gonna talk
そ
about
うですよ
this.
ね、ユージーン隊長。
Captain Eugene?
隊長
Captain? Eugene used to be captain of the guard,
隣にいるのは脱走兵の魔王坊やじゃないか。
and then one of the military soldiers is
以前
Mao.
なら王の盾からの脱走者なんて重罪にほっときゃしないけど。
So
殺す能力者が
Mao
増え
and
てから
Eugene
管理も
used to
いい加
be
減だからさ。
in the king's guard, but not
まあ
anymore. They
君
left
程度のちびっ子はいつだって始末できるけ
and
ど
kind of abandoned their post, and now they're looking for strong force users.
ユージーン隊なら僕のやり方は分かってるでしょ。
Eugene, you know the method that I use for
何を
negotiations.
言っている
What are you saying?
分からないお友達は頭上に注意。
It's like Alec, please closely look, those that don't understand. Yeah, of course, he uses blackmail. That's how he does negotiation.
そう。世の中すべてギブアンドテイク。
In this world, it's all about give and take.
貴様
You bastard!
クレアちゃん、わかるよね。あのガジュマのおばさんの命は今君の手の中にある。
You understand, right, Claire? This Gajima lady's life is in your hands. So that's the one that made the peach pie? Just a close friend of the family?
命って重いのかな？
It's like a life is a heavy thing, isn't it? The weight of a life.
ダメだいくらくれや
So Claire said, I'll go with you, and Vegas, no, don't.
お前は黙ってろ。
You stay out of it.
貴様
Another cuss word here. So he's a wind user, obviously. The wind
お前
force.
の命は軽いよ。
Boy, your life is so weak and frail. But he's gonna leave Vega alive. This is gonna be bad. So Eugene sort of puts a stop to it here. Puts a stop to it.
さすがは隊長。
Good job, Captain. As expected of the captain.
なぜだ
What? Why? Why?
クレア逃げろ
Claire, run away. Escape.
では行こう、クレアちゃん。
Let's go, Claire.
その前におばさんを下ろしてみんなを解放してください。そうでないと私は行きません。
It's like, before I come with you, let her down and let everybody else go. If you don't, I'm not coming with you at all.
クレアちゃん、君が本当に僕たちと行くってことを約束してくれたら、彼女たちは解放してあげるよ。
If you promise, that you come with
約束
us,
します。
I'll release
だから
everybody.
みんなを
She said, I'll promise.
わかった。
So let everybody go.
娘たちを解放しろ。
Release the girls.
クレアごめんね私のせいで。
I'm sorry, Claire. It's my fault.
モニカあなたのせいじゃないわ。
It's okay, Monica. It's not your fault.
でも行けばクレアはひどい目に遭わされるかもしれないのに。
But if you go, Claire, something terrible is going to happen to you.
大丈夫だよ。クレアちゃんは大切に扱うからね。
It's okay. We will take good care of Claire.
そろそろお別れの時間だよ。
And now it's time for us to part ways.
レイグちょっと行ってくるね。
Vague, I'm going for a little while.
クレア行くな
Claire, don't go. Don't
みん
go.
な撤収だ。
Everybody, let's go.
クレア
That's Claire's father.
お父さんお母さん。ザピ行きなさい。
So Zappy wants Zappy to stay here. Go with Vague.
さようならユージーン隊長。さようなら魔王坊や。じゃあまたね。
Goodbye, everybody. Okay, everybody, we're gonna stop here because this episode's pretty long. But in the next one, we'll be continuing this exciting story. So please stay tuned. This game is great. And I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.